Thinking of moving to the Eugene Springfield area or somewhere in the Willamette Valley, and you have no idea where to start or what it's really like to live here? Well, I want to be your expert. I have been born and raised my whole life here. My name is Kimberly Keller with eXp Realty, and I am very excited to dive into my first long form video and hopefully give you some insight to what it's really like living here in the Eugene Springfield area where I'm from and where I currently reside. I'm going to be looking at my notes off and on here just to make sure that I'm staying on track and I hit all the important points for you. I think it's really important that you have a local connection when you're considering relocating, whether it be out of state or from maybe even a different area in the state. We have so many beautiful areas. I can see why people want to maybe move around, but mostly what I'm seeing nowadays is a lot of people coming from other states. I know that some neighboring states have been a little bit more expensive in years past, and Oregon is definitely climbing up on the more expensive side of things. We are not cheap to live here, but we're not the most expensive either. So I want to give you an insight and be your local guide, so to speak. I love helping people discover our community. I love Eugene Springfield area. I've raised my family here. So I love this topic and I love getting asked what it's like to actually live here. So I live, like I mentioned, in the Willamette Valley. Some of the key things to think about for Eugene Springfield area as to the actual location in Oregon is that we are considered the Southern Willamette Valley. We're about an hour to the coast if you go to Florence, 1 to 2 hours to the mountains. Depending if you go to Bend, you're like 2.5 hours away from Bend. I like to go to Newport, Oregon a lot, and that's only about an hour and 45 minutes away. Lincoln City is a couple hours as well. Like I mentioned, Florence is about an hour from Eugene. And it's roughly an hour and 45 minutes to 2 hours to Portland, depending on traffic. Portland is our big city, so to speak. I think I say so to speak a lot, which is probably going to be annoying, but we'll get through it together. But mostly it's very easy to access outdoor recreation, which I think is what's attractive about Oregon. I know I have a group of friends. I'm just going to mess with my hair. Sorry about that. I have a group of friends that we like to plan hikes, day hikes, take our kids, go do some fun stuff locally. And it's all within about an hour's drive. I mean, we could go right here in our own backyard in Eugene and Springfield. We have lots of hiking trails and paths as well. But within an hour, you can be at amazing, beautiful waterfalls. So why not just take the drive and go do a 2-mile loop to see some amazing waterfalls? We have some surrounding communities. We've got, I mentioned Eugene Springfield. We have Cresswell, Junction City, Cottage Grove, Coburg, Veneta. All have their own cool, amazing, fun, neat things about them that make them special and unique. I'll try to mention a couple of them as I go. Coburg is known for its antiquing district. That one's really fun. I love antiquing. That's one of my favorite things to do. So I love to go to Coburg. Junction City's super cute as well. They have a festival every summer called the Scandinavian Festival. It's actually a free festival where they offer a lot of crafts and food and dancing, all around the Scandinavian theme. It's very fun to take the family. They also do a car show, which they recently just did, which is pretty fun. Cresswell is really known for its 4th of July parade. It's a super cute Americana type town. Very fun as well. And I'll hopefully mention some of the other neighboring areas. I know I like to go to Cottage Grove. They have amazing lakes there. I go every summer, take my family. It's really fun. So we kind of covered the natural beauty and the outdoor recreation. It's also just a slower pace of life here in the Southern Willamette Valley. We have a very strong sense of community. We have a university influence because we have the University of Oregon in Eugene, very close in Corvallis. We have Oregon State University. So you have that university flexibility and advantage to have that opportunities and things at your reach that you wouldn't normally have if you weren't a university town. We also have, a pretty good track program. If you've ever heard, Eugene is Track Town USA. So there's lots of fun events at Hayward Field. Just a lot of cool things to participate in, which make it a really fun place to live. We have friendly neighborhoods, which I would agree with and think that that is very important. But why do I personally love living here? I personally love living here because of the location to everything that I don't want to keep repeating myself, but I love how close we are to the coast. I love how close we are to the mountains. I love that it is a quick drive to Nevada or a not so quick drive to Disneyland or somewhere like that. But you have this home base that has very mild seasons. We have gorgeous springs where everything comes to life. We have beautiful mild summers. They rarely go over 100. A few days in July, a couple of days, couple days in July, a few days in August. But other than that, we're very mild. We have a very mild climate. In the summer, we have our farmers markets, which I absolutely love. We have Saturday market, which is super fun. The downtown Springfield is really up and coming and has been completely renovated. It's becoming a very cool place to spend time. And I know we just got a new farmers market there this last week, which is really cool. We have this also really cool pavilion farmers market in Eugene that I love to go visit. I love shopping the local vendors. The Saturday market has lots of vendors that come through. They do a holiday market every year, which I absolutely love. What are some of the cons? That's actually a great question. Some of the cons are more of the obvious ones that you probably hear about. We have rainy winters. This winter was a little more on the dry side, but we do experience a lot of gray, a lot of fog. We have allergies and pollen. My eyes actually today have been so itchy, they're a little bit puffy, so please forgive them. But we do have a lot of allergies here that are a little bit annoying. Grass and tree are especially high. And so a lot of people struggle with those. I would say April through June. And I even have a couple of friends who struggle with their allergies in the winter. That's not fun. I'm one that doesn't have that, which is great. We do have a limited inventory sometimes here, which is probably because it is desirable. And our price points are kind of inching up into the high side on some of our homes, but I would say there's still a really good mix. So I wouldn't want to hammer in that point too much other than to say if you are interested in looking at what's on the market here in Oregon, please reach out. I'd be happy to help you. And we could look at what might suit your budget and what you're looking at. We do have a little bit on the higher side, I think that no one really talks about, of our state income tax. We don't have sales tax, which a lot of my neighboring friends have in other states, but here in Oregon, we don't have sales tax. And our public transportation isn't necessarily like major metro areas, but I don't know that that's a negative. We actually have some pretty cool benefits to our LTD system here in Lane County that I have really enjoyed. I know that they partner with our local schools and they help give kiddos bus passes for free, which is fun. And I don't know, I think it's a pretty great system. We have what's called the EMX, which runs through certain neighborhoods and areas, and they're like a straight shot. It's pretty great. Our cost of living compared to California and Washington, from what I understand and what I've researched, is pretty great still. Our property taxes are still within the moderate range and pretty affordable. Our utilities are also pretty great around here. We have some different utility companies. We have EPUD, eWeb, Rainbow, and then Springfield Utility Board, which would be in my area, here in the Springfield area. Our groceries are, I would say, in the median range of what you would see on the West Coast. I don't think there's any surprise to there, but like I mentioned, we do not have sales tax, which is great. The market's always changing, so if you're curious about home prices or any of the things that we've talked about today, you can always reach out to me and I'd be happy to help you with that. Let's see, what haven't I touched on yet? Other things that I want to mention. I have noticed an up and coming area in the Eugene neighborhoods for young professionals, which is pretty great. And I already mentioned the small town feel of Coburg, Junction City, Veneta, and those rural outlining areas, the outskirts of town, which are still lots of land to explore and pretty open to some maybe USDA loans. I don't know. We'd have to look into that together. But I think that that would be a great opportunity for people who are looking maybe to build. That would be something that you could totally look into. So I guess the question that you would want to ask is, do you like outdoor living? Can you tolerate some rain? Are you looking for a city that has big nightlife? Because we don't really have big nightlife. Or do you want more access to nature? If you answered yes to 3 out of 4 of those questions, then Oregon and the Southern Willamette Valley specifically might be for you. So if you're thinking about relocating to Eugene or Springfield or an outlying area in the Willamette Valley, I would absolutely love to connect with you. I would love to answer any questions that you might have. And if you're just starting your research, feel free to call me or connect with me. You can find my information in the bio. My email address, though, is kimberly.keller@exprealty.com. And I would love to answer any further questions that you might have. I'd also love to show you around. We've got a lot of things to explore and some beautiful scenery to take in. So feel free to reach out, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.